What is going on, YouTube? I'm back with another reaction video. Today I'm going to be reacting to Gunslinger, Live in the LBC by Avenged Sevenfold. I literally just got done recording Gunslinger, the studio version, so go check that out if you want to. I'll link it in the description. In that video, I will have edited in my Spotify Wrapped. It's where at the end of the year, it tells you your top 5 like artists and songs and how many minutes it shows you basically your stats of Spotify for that year. So anyway, share in the comments what your top 5 artists and songs were of 2024. I think it'd be pretty cool to know what you guys are listening to. And if you want to see what mine were, then check out my last video. I will also go ahead and link in the description my top songs of 2024. So go ahead and check that playlist out if you want. And I'm just going to get right into this video. I'm going to do probably like 4 reactions today. Link to the original video will be in the description. This is Gunslinger, Live in the LBC. Is Zachy on acoustic? He's gotta be, right? Wow. That sounds amazing.
For far too long. But with all that we've been through, after all this time, I'm coming home to you.
Damn. That sounds identical to the studio version.
Never let it show.
I love that.
The pain I've grown to know.
Maybe Avenged Sevenfold should have been like a Western band. Because this is better than a lot of country songs I listen to. Maybe it's because it's got a little bit of like rock in it too, but you know.
Cause with all these things we do,
maybe it's just because its voice is so good.
This time I'm coming home. I reach towards the sky. I've said my goodbyes. My heart's always with you now.
Yeah, I can just see the phone flashlights going like this.
Why so many have died. My prayers have made it through. Cause with all these things we do, after all this time, I'm coming home to you.
Yeah. I love it.
Let's keep me warm. Help me through the storm. Knowing all that we've been
Oh, backup vocals.
all this time, I'm coming home. I reach towards the sky. I said my goodbyes. My heart's always with you now.
Rev's vocals are good.
Question why so many times my prayers have made it through, all these things we do, after all this time I'm coming home to you. And I've always been true. I've waited so long just to come home to you. Making it through.
Voice is so good. Yeah. That's cool. Oh my gosh. Dude, the backup vocals in the song are absolutely perfect. That just makes the song 1,000 times better. Not that it's not good without him, but dude. This solo reminds me a little bit of Seize the Day. This is weird because in the studio version, I said it sounded identical. Not identical, you know what I mean, but it sounded a lot like A Little Piece of Heaven. And I know it's in the same album, so that kind of makes sense, but this song sounds a lot like A Little Piece of Heaven. But in the Live in the LBC album, the solo, the guitar solo reminds me of Seize the Day. And both great songs, but I think that's interesting how in the studio version it sounded like one song, but in the Live in the LBC version it sounded like a song from a totally different album, a totally different time. So I think that's really cool. I like this solo, but his voice absolutely is just immaculate. His voice sounds identical to the studio version, and they're killing it with the backup vocals. This is awesome. That part reminds me of Seize the Day.
Just with all that we've been through, after all this time I'm coming home. I reach towards the sky.
I like that transition.
And my goodbyes, my heart's always with you now. I won't question why so many dark breaths have made it through, yeah. Because with all these things we do, after all this time I'm coming home. After all that we've been through, after all this time I'm coming home to you.
Wow. I think that's kind of funny. So, it's like when they say after all this time I'm coming home, it's like you expect it to go, you expect him to just say to you, and then it just kind of like, dun. But if you don't know the song, like I literally just listened to the first time like 10 minutes ago. So I keep thinking like, oh, this is it. And it's going to like hit that last note and it's just going to ring out and it's going to be, the fans cheering or whatever. And everybody's hyped up. I just love that feeling. And that last note is just great. I talked about it in the last video. You can go check that out. Go check it out. It's like they build it up and they say, after all this time, I'm coming home to, I reach for the sky. And they keep going. And it's like, oh, I thought you were going to end it. And it's like, keep building it up. And then they keep drawing it out. And it's like, so then when they finally do like close it, it's like, yeah, that was amazing. So I love that. Right here.
After all this
Time I'm coming home. Keep going.
Said my goodbyes, my heart's always with you now. I won't question why so many dark breaths have made it through, yeah. Because with all these things we do, after all this time I'm coming home. After all that
See, they keep going.
after all this time, I'm coming home to you.
I love it. I love that. That is amazing. So that was Gunslinger, Live in the LBC. What is the last song of Live in the LBC? I'm almost done. There's like one more, right? Oh, so we got Unholy Confessions and Little Piece of Heaven Live in the LBC left. So I'm just going to get that out of the way today. So right after this video, I'm going to end this video, hit record for the next one, and react to Unholy Confessions Live in the LBC. So stay tuned. And then A Little Piece of Heaven Live in the LBC will be after that. So Gunslinger, I loved it. That was amazing. I thought it was really cool how his voice sounded so much like the studio version. Usually I'm not as much of a fan of the live versions, not necessarily Avenged Sevenfold. Like Avenged Sevenfold live sounds phenomenal, But like when you listen to other people live, it's like, yeah, it doesn't really sound like the song, or they change the key that they do the song in. Like, I'm not a big fan when bands do that, but it is what it is. I haven't seen Avenged Sevenfold do that. It's like when I go and hear somebody in concert, I want to hear the studio version but live. You know what I mean? And like Avenged Sevenfold doesn't change. They literally play the song how it's supposed to be played, how they intended it to be played when they made the song, and they do it live, and they do it well. And I think that is just super impressive. That takes such talent and such skill, and it just blows me away. Anyways, that's going to do it for the reaction. Link to the original video will be in the description. I will link my other channel, my gaming channel. Go check that out if you want to. I play Call of Duty. Not right now, obviously, because I don't have the capability. This is all I got right now. So, but I do like Call of Duty funny moments and stuff like that. So go check that out if you want to. I'll link it in the description. I'll go ahead and link my Live in the LBC playlist in the description. So check that out if you want to. It has all my Live in the LBC reactions. I'll link my previous video, Gunslinger, the studio version, if you want to check that out. And I will also link my Spotify top 2024 songs if you want to check that out. Also, drop in the comments what your top artists and songs of 2024 were, whether it's on Spotify, whether it's on, SoundCloud or Apple Music, whatever it is that you listen to. Drop in the comments what your top songs were this year. I think it'd be really interesting to hear. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.